My husband funds his ex-nanny's entire life, and when I called her out for not knowing who the father of her child was, my husband blew up at me. I, 31F, have been with my husband Daniel, 34M, for 12 years, married for 6, and we have a 4-year-old son. For the most part, he is a wonderful, loving man, and we've had problems in our relationship only due to his ex-nanny. Martha, 45F, used to babysit Daniel when he was younger, as his parents were both very busy lawyers. She was fired after she took Daniel out on a late-night walk, and they got mugged, resulting in my husband being pretty badly injured. Even after that, he kept in touch with Martha and still calls her Ma. He is very protective of her, and even when we were friends, dating, engaged, or married, everyone told me to be on the good side of his ex-nanny, as she means a lot to him, so much so that he is still financially supporting her. Martha has a daughter, Stella, 27F, with an unknown man, whom she wanted to set up with Daniel, and still does. Even when we first met, she would make subtle comparisons between the both of us, like how Stella has such pale beautiful skin and how I should get rid of my beach tan. She knows that a true lady is for rearing her man's children, and not trying to compete with him by entering the workforce. You can tell I am not the biggest fan of Martha, even though I tried to like her or get her to like me. But her remark the first time we met made me instantly dislike her. She told me to stop smiling, that there was nothing funny about the situation, and to stop living in a delusion that my smile is pretty. Daniel said nothing at that. A week ago, Daniel and I got into a huge fight since he bought Martha and Stella another apartment and had them over while I was at work. I won't lie, I called his ex-nanny a bleep who doesn't even know the father of her child and has birthed and raised another bleep. At this, my calm husband instantly slapped me so hard that I was thrown to the floor. While I was still in shock, he began crying and hugging me, apologizing repeatedly. He didn't leave me the entire night, so I packed my bags and left for my parents' home with our son the next morning. He has been calling and coming over to my house repeatedly, apologizing and asking for another chance. I don't know what to do. My mom tells me I should talk to him since he seems pretty hurt, but I haven't told her about the slap yet. Before this, he has never hit me and rarely ever raised his voice at me. Is this actually not that serious? I don't want my son to grow up in a broken home due to an emotional decision. Update 1. I am a mess right now, so forgive any errors. My marriage is coming to an end. I told my parents that he hit me, and they were furious. They demanded that I immediately divorce him, and I am going to do just that. This afternoon, I agreed to meet him in my parents' yard. He still wasn't getting it. He brought all kinds of presents, immediately hugged me as soon as I saw him, and offered to buy another apartment for our family. I told him that I'd leave him if he didn't cut off contact with his nanny and her daughter. He began crying once again. It hurt me to see him cry since he rarely ever does. He asked me not to make him choose since he loves me just as much as he loves them, and that I am the mother of his child. It wouldn't be fair to our son to grow up in different homes. He told me that he owes his ex-nanny and her daughter because if it wasn't for him, Martha would be happy. I was always skeptical about why he cared about her so much, but he'd always say she saved him. This was the first time he was saying something like this. I pressed on and told him to tell me the truth or we are over. He just said I wouldn't get it. I told him we are done, but then he wouldn't let me leave. He began saying how he would never sign the divorce papers and wouldn't let me go no matter what I do. It was scary, so I immediately called for my mom and dad. He still wouldn't budge until my dad threatened him with a tool, and he gave me this weird look before he went away. I was honestly never this scared of him and had never seen this side of his before. He sounded mad that I was trying to leave him. I just want to get my divorce and live peacefully with my son. Edit. Stella is not Daniel's daughter. They look nothing alike. Moreover, Martha had Stella with a one-night stand, because when I did ask Daniel about her father, he said he didn't know who he was, but it was Trash who came one night, left, and ruined Ma.